He makes everybody sound amazing. All right. Good morning, Flagler County. This is Danielle Anderson, your host of Lifeline, the radio show connecting you to positivity in our community. And we have some very important people in the studio this morning. We're talking about housing and what's going on here in Flagler County. So good morning, guys. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, thank you so much for having us. I'm Deborah, Housing Program Manager of Flagler County.
Thank you. My name is Eduardo Diaz, Flagler County Housing Program Coordinator.
And if you want to follow along, you can always jump on WNZF's Facebook page, and you can see us live in the studio. So, Deborah, you and I met through working with the long-term recovery group that is being sponsored by the Red Cross to help folks in our community. And I did not realize how much you actually do here in our community. So can you tell people a little bit about the program?
Sure. So we work primarily with the State Housing Initiative Partnership Program, which is a comprehensive program that's designed to help local communities create and preserve housing in their communities in relation to the housing element of their comprehensive plan. So we have a lot of flexibility locally to design stuff that works for Flagler County, and oftentimes you'll see us rehabilitate homes, and we help people purchase homes using that funding.
So how did you I have to just kind of get a little background on this. Like, how did both of you kind of get into this field?
I mean, I started in Volusia County working with Section 8.
Okay.
And then from Section 8, she was, the county, Flagler County was opening the program again and starting off. So that's how I came to this one. From Section 8 in Volusia County to SHIP in Flagler County.
And I started my career working with the nonprofit sector, so I ended up making not a lot of money, and I ended up getting some housing assistance and joined Habitat for Humanity. And
wow.
So I became a Habitat homeowner, and that's when I started getting involved with SHIP and housing and stuff like that. So then I got a job with the county, working in our department, and then they ended up expanding a little bit in housing, created a housing program coordinator position, and then I got into that, and that's how I got here. The need for housing was one of the things that really mattered to me, not just helping people with subsidy, but figuring out how do we actually solve the root of the problem. And so that really drew me into this position.
So have you discovered the secret to?
We're all working on that, I think.
How do we get people into a house? That's the real question.
Not just into the house, but we do have an affordable housing advisory committee that's required to look at the regulatory background. So they're looking at not only what types of costs the local governments create with some of their requirements, but also do they have any kind of incentives specific to different types of housing. So like if you're thinking about granny flats, little tiny housing units, things like that, are you allowed to build one on your property and rent it out, or have your kids live there or your parents live there?
Are they?
Not in Palm Coast. I mean, you can, but they can't have a full kitchen. So we're looking at full units. So the committee, they did recommend that the city of Palm Coast think about that. And the legislators are also going to maybe push that to make it something that's required, that local governments allow those. So that and density, they look at density and the different types of lot sizes that your local government requires. And so all of those things can influence how expensive it is to build a house and then sell it.
So this is all under the Affordable Advisory Committee?
Yes.
So who's on that committee? Where do those folks come from?
So it's required under Florida statute, and so there are different categories that they have to fill. So the current chair of that committee is Valerie Clymer. She represents the lending industry in connection with affordable housing. And then we have the vice chair who was, she actually sits on the planning board with the city of Palm Coast, so we need someone to represent that, but she also is an affordable housing provider and represents low-income people, but that's the category that she fills. So it's a diverse group of requirements that they have to fill. They want builders, they want realtors, they want different people that can inform how they're looking at what their local governments are doing and how to ensure that there's enough housing for the people in the community.
So that advisory committee kind of seems like where it all really starts. And then comes out from there.
Yeah, and they get a lot of training. So at the state level, we have the Florida Housing Coalition, and they're the technical advisor, and they give great comprehensive information. It's at flhousing.org. The training and the webinars are all free, so even anybody listening can go to flhousing.org and learn about what housing initiatives. But that's the committee gets a lot of training and sometimes one-on-one assistance from them, and then they talk to the planners to see like what are we doing here to come up with recommendations, and then they present their recommendations at the end of the year in November. They vote on them. There's a public hearing, and then they have to be submitted to both the city of Palm Coast and to Flagler County.
So do the cities have to adopt these recommendations?
They don't have to adopt them. It usually informs the approach, but it's encouraged for them to consider them.
That's amazing. So the first time I heard about housing stuff was the Sadowski Fund.
Yep.
Sorry, I didn't know there was anything, of these different types going on. So so we've got the Affordable Advisory Committee. How are the different pots of money or different programs kind of divided up under your purview?
Oh, I love that question because we get one allocation a year. And so we just get that one allocation, and then we plan how we are going to spend them. We call that strategies. And so really, everything that we spend it on comes out of that one allocation versus having different pots of money. So if we create an owner-occupied rehab program, we set the parameters. We create the policy. We create the whole program from from the bottom up within guidelines from the state, which is why sometimes, we'll get people, they'll say, well, I applied for home rehab in Volusia. Can I transfer it here? Well, the answer is no. Because our allocation is ours, and so we've designed our program specific to Flagler County.
Wow.
So we do
We have the between the city of Palm Coast and Flagler County, we have a what did you call it?
Yeah, it's an interlocal agreement.
Cool.
Yeah.
So now you were going to talk about there were 4 different programs, right?
Correct.
So go ahead and let's pop in with those.
So we have 4 major programs. The first one is home purchase assistance with or without rehabilitation. The second one is owner-occupied rehabilitation. We basically go into the home and replace items in the home. There's the roof replacement program, and one of the newest one is the senior barrier-free home modification.
So okay, let's talk about that because I think that might be really important to something I'm working on. Tell me about that one, the senior one.
The senior modification one basically is we go into the senior's home. You got to be 60 or older, and then we'll try to help the senior be safe in their home. Let me give you the biggest example is a home has 2 bathrooms, and they both have tubs. My seniors it's difficult for them sometimes to get into those tubs, shower, come back out, especially if they're by themselves. So what we do under that program, which is a grant program, it goes up to $12,000. We can take that tub, take it out, and then replace it with a walk-in shower, include grab bars, and we can include a higher seat toilet. If there's grab bars that you need around the house, it can also be in place. As long as it doesn't go over the limit, it's $12,000, and of course everybody has to be income eligible. This is one of the biggest questions that we got. There's a income limit.
So can we explain that, because I know I get confused trying to understand it. How do those really work?
Which part?
The income
The
eligible
income
stuff.
eligibility. So basically, it depends how many people live in the home. Is how much you can earn annually. We take the income, the gross income from anybody in the home, and we'll project it forward throughout the year. And if you don't go over a certain amount, you're eligible. If you go over, then we can't help you at all.
So the gross is before tax.
Correct.
So does that kind of shoot the person in the foot from getting assistance when taxes seem like they're really high?
Well, so for our programs that we have to go by the area median income, and it's a standard, so it's the same across the board. So yes, we understand that some people have higher incomes, or higher expenses than what we're doing, but we're using the area median income because as our program is kind of focused on, people who are under that are going to have a harder time with housing, whether that's repairing their homes and those sort of things.
Right. So we're focusing on the low, very low income level people that are in the home, so because they're the most vulnerable.
So give an example. If you've got a family of four
Yeah.
or five, two parents and three kids, sorry, what would be the number for them?
Right now it's 75,900.
So that's a pretty good amount of money.
Yeah, it's not like a poverty
Right.
guideline.
It's not.
Oh, I
It's
was
super
like,
low.
oh my gosh.
It's based on, basically, if we're looking at the center line of the income distributions in Flagler County, that would be the median income. We adjust that for a household of four, and that's what it's based on. So it's not based on anything other than what does Flagler County earn. So people are under that line, we're helping them.
That's amazing. So so a senior who happened to be taking care of their two grandkids. So if it's a single, say it's a single senior, and she's got two grandkids under the age of 18 in her home, could you help her? And what's her median income?
For three people, 68,350. And you can find this chart in our website as well, flaglercounty.gov/SHIP.
Okay.
SHIP. You'll see the chart, the income limits there too.
That's amazing.
Basically what you just described, and it could happen to some seniors. Some seniors, most of them live on fixed income, right?
Right.
They're not gonna go over 53,150 a year, which is one person. They're usually on the 27,000 or under.
The ones
if you're
calling
fixed
us.
income, the most people that are more vulnerable, they don't have the means to go and call a contractor and say, "Hey, can you please put a walk-in shower?" They just gotta risk it, pulling that leg up, in and out from the tub to get a shower.
That's so dangerous.
Correct. And that's the senior home modification only.
Yeah. That's an amazing program. I don't think
It
anybody
is.
knows about that.
It's out there. The other tricky part with us is it's only us. This is the whole team. And
Right.
we have to get the intake of the application, which is through our website. And then we have to qualify the person, see if they're income eligible.
Right.
And if they are, then I have to some other projects and then work behind the scenes. Then I have to go out to the home, see what needs to be done. And then I have to go out and post bids on our system for our contractors to bid on the job. Whoever's the lowest bidder, they have to do the job. Then I have to go in there, tell the contractor, this is what needs to be done. Go replace it. Go help put these grab bars here and there. Make sure everything's secured. If something has to be permitted through the city, they have to get their own permitting and approved from the city of Palm Coast or Bunnell.
Yes, we're checking. Yeah, we vet the contractors.
That's what I was
wondering.
We're selecting the contractors, not the homeowner, and then we look
Correct.
at the permits, we evaluate them, we score them.
Which is in some. I keep hearing some other counties with their SHIP program that the homeowner gets to choose the contractor, but we chose not to do that way.
I think that's smart, just to make sure everybody's
Yeah.
right on the level.
Correct,
Right.
and they gotta fight it out. We didn't have too many contractors. Now we got like 10 or 12.
Who's 13 now?
13. Yeah, I missed
Wow,
it.
that's
yeah.
great.
So now they gotta really fight it out and work. Make sure you do the best thing. And if you want me to call you again or put you out there, you need to do a good job in the first time, the second time, the third time. We got some great contractors.
I was going to say that
another thing.
reputation is going to take them a long way, right?
Correct.
Yeah, the
Correct.
prices were coming in so high. Remember in like 2022, we were getting huge.
Oh,
we
yes.
couldn't get some of them to go out on the west side sometimes, and we had these huge amounts that they were, submitting to us. But now that we have finally built up a repertoire of contractors, they do have to fight, and we're happy
Yeah.
about that. So we
We
can keep
have-
the cost lower.
Yeah, we had a little plastic pool. Now we got a Olympic-sized pool.
I love
Yes.
that.
Yes.
So we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to talk about the other three programs. We'll be right back. Dude, that's amazing. I didn't know you guys were doing that.
Oh my God, I
See-
love
you
it.
see what I'm saying? This is how it works.
Yeah.
Okay, are you guys ready?
Yes.
All right, so we are back with the Flagler, is it housing program?
Flagler County Housing Services.
That's the whole umbrella.
We are under the Flagler County Health and Human Services Department.
Just
Correct.
really quick, I have to ask then, how do you like the new Nexus building? Are you guys,
It's
you're
cool.
in there, right?
Yeah.
In the
We're
new
there.
Nexus?
Yeah, it's a nice place.
I like it a lot. It was a little bit of a transition, and it's a little bit safer, and we think it's better for the people when they come in if they have to go to the conference room.
It's nice.
It's
Yeah.
bigger. It's more. We got more space now.
That's awesome. I mean, I've been to the library side, but I hadn't, really seen you guys in action back there. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so let's talk about some other ones because we're going to run out of time, and I know we're going to be sad. Talk about home purchase. Is that the ship program itself?
Yeah, it's under our SHIP program, and I do want to put something out for that because, Eduardo, he has to do these closings with these, but we want all of our applicants to get credit counseling, and we want them to get take a class on home ownership. So they have to learn that before they apply for our program. It's on flaglercounty.gov/SHIP. So once they go to the website, they can apply, but they have to have that first. And so it could take a long time for someone to become home buyer ready. But we work with Mid-Florida Housing Partnership. They are HUD certified, and they provide an array of counseling services for people. Super important. They're not just telling you don't buy coffees. And so they can even provide, foreclosure prevention counseling and stuff like that. And they go in with you, one-on-one. They can go in with you. And I can read out their number because they do have classes here in Palm Coast that they're offering. They're free classes that you can register for. And so if you wanted to register for some of their foreclosure prevention classes or connect with them for one-on-one credit counseling or to take the first-time homebuyer class, you would call 386-274-4441 and select option 6. And that's Mid-Florida Housing Partnership at 386-274-4441, option 6. They have free classes here in the county at the Palm Coast Recreation Center on the third Saturdays of the month. But they will schedule a time with you. And if you're looking to buy a home, you have to start there.
No, that's good because, I mean, people jump in and you buy a home and you really don't know what you're getting or how to manage all the things that come with owning a home.
Just even going through the process of purchasing the house it's a lot. And one of the big things with Debbie saying, you start there. Which is I tell this to everybody, don't even open Zillow before you hit that class and get my award letter. Sometimes we get applicants that tell me, hey, I'm in contract, I'm about to close in 30 days. I don't know who you are. You need to apply through us first, do the classes, apply with us, wait for us to call you. Once I give you the award letter, then we know how much we can help you with. Then you go open Zillow and whatever app that you want to do.
So how are you giving an award letter? What does that mean?
Basically, we go through the application. We see what income level they are and how much we can help them. There's 3 categories, right? Very low, low, and moderate income size people. So we can help with $49,950, which includes $30,000 to repair the home once you are the owner. The next step, which is the lower income, is $39,950, and the moderate they'll get $29,950. But I don't know what category will you be in until I do the application. So if you come to me with a contract, it's not gonna happen in time. That's why we tell people don't go out finding a house until you get my award letter.
So they come to you, they get signed up for these classes, they graduate the classes, and then they come to you and you evaluate their financial stability.
Yes.
And then you determine what they're eligible for. Now, is that a grant? Is that a loan?
No.
It is.
Good question.
It's a great question. That it's the deferred payment, basically. So the catch is that you have to sign not only the mortgage on your house and you pay every time, every month. We're going to put a silent lien on the house.
Ooh.
For that amount. You don't have to pay it back as long as you stay there for the next 15 years.
Okay, well, that's reasonable. I mean, you're
Yeah,
buying a
that's-
home, you expect to live there, right?
Before it was 30 years of
Oh,
lien.
wow.
Yeah, and
So-
we'll be moving again into that.
Yeah, so every year is going to switch a little bit, but for the moment, if you get a house with us, that's going to be, the lien's going to be 15 years.
Now, what program is that under?
Down payment assistance.
So that's
With
is
or
that the home
without.
purchase? That's
Purchase
correct.
assistance.
Purchase
right.
assistance, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the loans, we are acting like a lender in this scenario. So we monitor them. So that means if you sell the home and say you sell it in 10 years and so you still had 5 more years left, you would have to pay some portion of that back to the county. And then we have to use that money for other programs,
Okay.
for other eligible people.
But if they did, so if they get $29,000 from you, what does that go towards?
Down payment and closing cost.
So instead of having to save up your own little $5,000 pocket, you're coming to the table with $29,000.
Or if you get your 5,000 on top of my 29, you get
Oh
more.
my gosh, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
And you can also stagger it if you use the CDBG program with the City of Palm Coast. If you find a way to use Hometowns Heroes, which is maybe 20,000 or 30,000.
Yeah, I don't
Some
remember that.
Hometowns Heroes is a program that the state has, and if you can combine all those and get in your new home.
Yeah,
Now, it has to be a first-time home buyer, which is somebody that hasn't owned a house in the last 3 years.
That's a first-time home buyer?
That's the first-time home buyer.
So I
Yeah.
bought my house in 1999. So then I would qualify again as a first-time home
When
If
buyer?
you haven't owned a home in the past
No.
3 years, so if you sold it already.
Wow.
If you sold
Yeah.
it more than 3 years ago, you're a first-time home buyer.
But here's the catch. The
Okay.
catch is that you have to be income eligible for our program, and then we have to prioritize low and very low income households. So when you're looking at the home prices out there, there's a big difference because I think in 2020 we had like restaurant managers and teachers and different people buying homes for like $150,000 to $180,000.
Yes.
And then come moving into 2022 into 2025, those homes are like way out of reach. And so the
Yes.
people that would typically be able to look into a starter home were just really priced out of the market. So that we can't provide miracles. We did increase the amount that we provide. We also started including rehab so that maybe they can get maybe one that has some problems that maybe we can fix it so it's lower cost.
A
But
little
that's the catch.
fixer-uppers.
Yeah, it's the
Well,
catch.
Yeah, that's the little catch, right? So that's another thing that people think of. Let me get a fixer-upper. Fixer-upper has way more than we can do. And we have been through those.
Especially now.
Yes,
Have you seen
because-
Money Pit, the movie?
Yeah,
There you
that's
go.
exactly it.
So we did have a family that went into a house that wanted to buy it. When we got the inspection, I told the person, the applicant, hey, there's more repairs that I can pay for, and I don't want you to go into that house and then start putting money to bring it back up
Yeah.
and then not be able to pay your mortgage because in 3 years you're going to be broke again. So let me just, technically, I'll deny it. Let's find another one. They found another one. We only needed a replacement of the roof. Purchased the house. I replaced the roof. Homeowners.
That's amazing.
Young family, too.
So what are you finding is the biggest hurdle towards home ownership right now? Is the
Prices of the
price.
homes.
Well, and then when you look at the home prices, when you look at the market rate for Flagler County, it's lower than some other places. It's a little bit lower than the state. The problem is the inventory, like the diversity of options. So where you can go somewhere else and find maybe older, smaller, maybe a one bathroom home. We don't have the same diversity of options in housing here in Flagler County that you might find somewhere else. So even though they're actually pretty well priced for our area, but if you're needing something smaller or lower, they're just not finding those.
So do you find, I mean, because, we have the groups that bought in here as a retirement home in the 70s and 80s. Are you finding that those houses are coming on the market or that their kids are keeping the houses or they're turning into rentals? Do you, any data on that at all?
I haven't looked at the data on that. I have heard some stuff that people, especially now with the interest rates, if they have homes, they're trying to hang on to them. And I've heard some other people in the industry saying sometimes it's taking a little bit longer to sell the homes, and maybe that's why.
So what is the definition of affordable housing? I mean, this is such a hot button word in the news, and everybody looks at it in such a derogatory way.
Yeah.
What does affordable housing mean?
Well, in our world, we're looking to increase the naturally occurring housing that people can afford, right? And so there is a statutory definition of that comes from HUD, which is that if it's no more than 30%, if the housing costs are no more than the household's 30% of the household's monthly income, then it's considered affordable. And technically, that should include all the housing expenses, including like your water and electric.
Wow.
So we can be a far way away from that. We see, I think, at least 40% of households in Flagler County pay more than 30%, and that's not uncommon. That's not just unique to Flagler County. But so when we're talking about affordable housing, we are not necessarily talking about subsidized complexes. In fact, we want to reduce subsidy if we can because it's not sustainable. and we're not talking about multifamily or rental, even though those types of housing are part of the housing pipeline. So we're just saying when you're looking at all the people in your community, what types of incomes do they have? What are the most common jobs? What are the jobs that you need to have? And what kind of housing can they afford to live in? And if you're starting to see that the home prices are overstretching them, then it's not affordable housing. And so that's what we're talking about.
I think people need to do a better job of understanding that and maybe communicating that, because it's when they're saying, oh, we're trying to bring in affordable housing, and everybody's like, oh my gosh, it's going to bring crime and all this stuff. It's like, doesn't affordable just mean like you can afford to live there?
Exactly. That's what it
Right.
means. I've seen some people say, we don't need that here.
Oh, we do.
Like, have you seen everything that's going on? Oh my gosh.
Right.
We might have to have you guys back, because I know there's like way more to talk about. But we do want to wrap it up. Tell people how they can get in touch with you if they've got some questions or want to do some research.
Oh, definitely visit our website at www.flaglercounty.gov/ship.
SHIP. ship.
SHIP, correct.
And everything is under that one link right there for you guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for coming in. And
Thank you.
are
Thank
you
you.
okay to come back?
Yes,
yes.
we'd love to.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I think next month we're going to have you guys back and talk about some more stuff, because I know we didn't get into, I told you, right?
I know.
So we do want to thank WNZF News Radio, Flagler News Weekly, the Vigilante Philanthropist, Massage by Natalie and Company, and also the Benjamin Moore Paint Store here in Palm Coast for sponsoring the show. And one more time, Mid-Florida Housing, what's that number?
It is 386-274-4441, option 6.
And that'll get you some counseling for your credit if you have some questions about your home or foreclosure. And that's it. We're going to definitely see you guys next month.